Hello everyone, and I would like to welcome you to this week's Friday Reflections. I hope all of you are doing well and enjoying this beautiful weather we have been having. Just a few announcements. Just a reminder that if you plan to come to one of our indoor worship services, to please make sure to register for that before coming, and also read over all the guidelines which will help your experience here. Last week I thought went very well, and I appreciate all the cooperation and people paying attention to the things they should be doing to make us safe. So looking forward to seeing folks again this Sunday. And also just a reminder of our Sunday afternoon Thanksgiving service at 4:30 p.m. in our backfield. And again, if you could register ahead of time for that, that would be helpful as well. That will be coming this Sunday again at 4:30 in our backfield here at the church. So looking forward to a lot of good things happening on Sunday. And please do make sure to follow your announcements. We will be starting Advent on the 29th of November, so lots of things coming up with the holidays. So please make sure to follow all of your announcements very closely as they get sent to you each week. And one thing in particular I'd like to announce and talk a little bit about today is in connection with our theme for Advent, which is going to be Let Your Light Shine. We're going to talk about the importance of Christ as the light of the world, and then our call to be lights in the world, is a new activity we're doing this year called a Light Fest. And you will have seen some announcements by the time you hear this. So please pay attention to those. Basically what it is it's a way of doing a Light Fest almost like we would do trunk or treat. We're asking members of the congregation to come in the back and side parking lot and decorate your cars somehow with lights, with preference of a religious theme, a faith-based theme, so that people both from the congregation and the community can drive around, come in one side, go around the back, go around the other side, and view these lights. And then before leaving, they will get information about the church, and they will also have opportunity to give a donation toward those ministries that we normally would support with Oktoberfest that we weren't able to do this year here in our community. So it's a very simple, easy, fun way for us to celebrate light in the midst of all the darkness we still experience today, especially with the pandemic that's going on. And that was our whole hope with this, was really maybe as a way to give some joy, some hope, and some light to this time of year, to really hopefully bring about the light of Christ into our lives, to reflect the light of Christ and also to be the light of Christ. So I really want to encourage folks to be a part of this. We're going to ask the Sunday school families to be part of stations for a live nativity. It's just a very easy, fun way. You can come, decorate your vehicle, have some fun with it, and people are just going to drive by. And it's just a way, again, that we can provide some hope and some light through this holiday season to people. So please, please, please discern how you can be a part of that. And as I said, in Advent this year, our overall theme is going to be Let Your Light Shine. And we want to focus on two things. First off is remembering that Christ is the light of the world and continues to be the light of the world. And in being the light of the world, we are then called to reflect that light in our everyday lives. I'm reminded here of Isaiah 60:1-7. I'd like to read that for you, where it says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. For darkness shall cover the earth, and thick darkness the peoples. But the Lord will arise upon you, and his glory will appear over you. Nations shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your dawn. Lift up your eyes and look around. They all gather together, they come to you. Your sons shall come from far away, and your daughters shall be carried on their nurses' arms. Then you shall see and be radiant. Your heart shall thrill and rejoice, because the abundance of the sea shall be brought to you. The wealth of the nations shall come to you. A multitude of camels shall cover you, the young camels of Midian and Ephah. All those from Sheba shall come to you. They shall bring gold and frankincense, and shall proclaim the praise of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall come gather to you. The rams of Naboth shall minister to you. They shall be acceptable at my altar. and I will glorify my glorious house. And again, in this text, we're reminded, even back in the Old Testament times, about how God gave the people hope, gave the people joy in being their light, and then asked them as part of the covenant to then be a light to the nations as a way that people would come to know and to see the great love and grace that God had for all of God's people and all of God's creation. And as we get ready to come into Advent on November 29th, we too this year want to remember that in the midst of both the literal darkness that we find this time of year because of time change, but also the more maybe what we call theological or metaphorical darkness that we face just with this ongoing pandemic and the fatigue. And I know sometimes the holidays are very difficult for people anyway because they don't feel joyful, or they don't have that same sort of sense of joy that they normally do, or maybe they lost a loved one or dealing with something else. You know, this is not a time of year where everybody's happy and joyful. And this year's that is especially true. And it's a great time for us to remember that God is our light, that there still is light, there still is hope, there still is opportunity for joy. Not walking around being happy-go-lucky the whole time, but just truly knowing Christ and the meaning of this season in a new way, and maybe a more profound way this year than we've ever been able to do it for years in the past. I think that's our opportunity this year. Maybe, just maybe, having some of the superficial commercial things taken away might actually help us to focus on what is truly important during the holiday season. The light of Christ, family, friends, the things that are truly important in our lives. And then related to that, then we're reminded how now we can be that agent of hope and light in the world too. As we receive light, then we can reflect light. And I'm reminded here in Matthew 5, and also in our baptism, where we hear Jesus say, "You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven." Not only are we given hope and renewed joy in the light of Christ, but then we get the wonderful opportunity to share that and to be agents of hope and renewed light to others around us. And many times that can be just in very, very small ways. The smallest of ways, the smallest of opportunities become a way for Christ's light to shine in and through us in the world today. Don't forget Thanksgiving though. That comes first. Give thanks this week, coming up. Celebrate Thanksgiving. Give thanks for all the wonderful ways in which God continues to be with us. But we also then will get into that season of light. We're reminded that Christ is our light. Christ is the light of the world. And that Christ calls us to reflect that light and to be a light in the world today. God's blessings to all of you, and have a happy Thanksgiving.